today, and what better than to play the game of facts? So welcome everyone. This is fantastic. It's 30 weeks of quizzing, and yeah, it's just getting stronger. I mean, we're definitely not getting short of questions at all. And we have another set for you. And it's always exciting when the Parliament is in session, because there's a whole new bunch of data points that come out in the open. And so we have some very latest fresh data for you. All right, just very quickly, what's India Fact Quiz all about, and what is the game of facts meant to do? Well, essentially, we started India Fact Quiz last year as an initiative to make data and evidence a little more younger and fun. We're powered by India Spend, which is a data journalism initiative. I hope all of you can hear me and I'm audible and everything's fine. And essentially the idea was that if you really have to participate in, as a citizen in this country, how are you going to do that? You can have opinions, you can have rhetoric, but it's not going to lead up to much. But if you have data and if you have evidence on your side, then making better decisions just becomes very easy. So that's what we're trying to do. And the whole approach of just questioning things. When you see something around you, just question, because somewhere this country, while we celebrate 75 years, has pretty much been on status quo mode. And if there's anyone who's going to change things, well, it's actually you. So thank you all for joining. It's really, really a privilege when you pick these next 20-25 minutes to spend with us, and we really value that. So thank you very much. And as usual, we have the rules, which are fairly simplistic. India Fact Quiz Game of Facts is a very straightforward quiz in that way. A few ground rules. Please avoid putting in any messages which are not really related to the quiz in the chat box. It gets a little disturbing. Try not to put your answers in there. We do have an honor code. We do have a decorum that we'd like you to maintain. It's only for a short while. Now, what you need to do is log into www.kahoot with a K, KAHOOT.IT, and you'll be asked for a game pin. The game pin for this game is 5537635. You put that in, give yourself a nickname, and get into the quiz. All right, I'm going to share my screen now, and then you will see the Kahoot screen, and your nickname is going to appear there. We'll get into the quiz, and the first 3 questions are poll questions, just to see that you've got a hang of how to maneuver Kahoot. It's straightforward, but just so that you're comfortable with the medium. And then we get into the quiz, which are 10 questions. There are a couple true or false. There are multiple choice questions for which you get about 30 seconds. And then you have puzzle questions towards the end. It's a mixed bag. Yesterday, Meenal was focusing on one aspect of maternal health. Today, it's really a bunch of everything from climate change to gender to environment to wildlife to conservation, the works. All right. The book that we have for you is slightly different, and it's very, very special. It's a book called Gangster State by Sourjya Bhowmick. It, in fact, has just been launched. This is the launch week. Now, why is Sourjya so special to us? Well, India Spend celebrates 10 years of its existence this month. And Sourjya was one of the first 2 employees, I think, at India Spend. So he was at India Spend, has a very deep understanding of data and evidence and fact checking. And then 10 years on, he goes on to write a book on what happened really in the state of West Bengal and how did the CPIM just completely fall apart to the extent that it is fighting for its identity today. So it's kind of interesting the way he's gone about the whole process. He's a young writer. This is his debut novel, and we're very, very proud to have that as this week's prize on the Game of Facts. It's an extremely special book because the author is so important to and special to us. And also, I think just young people chronicling modern history is going to be very important. So if any of you out there have a book in you, or any of you feel like, hey, I think I would like to write, well, just look out for this space, because we're trying to sort of demystify the whole process and the art and science of writing a book. And maybe Sourjya can share a few of those tips and secrets with us. But that's only specially for our quizzards, all right? Okay, so it's Gangster State this week. And with that, I'm now going to share my screen and we'll very quickly get into the Game of Facts. It's 30 weeks of quizzing. In fact, this month we celebrate 1 year of quizzing. So thank you all so much. And we have a whole bunch of things to really celebrate this whole 75 years of Indian independence, 10 years of India spend, 1 year of Game of Facts. It just keeps on and on. All right. I just also hope that all of you are keeping track of what Boom is doing with Truth Seekers and the whole process of how you keep aside your perceptions, you keep aside your preconceived notions, you keep aside stereotypes and biases and what have you, and actually look at situation, things, you know, for what they stand for, what they are all about, you know, just using data, using numbers, because in general, numbers won't lead you very astray. So just keeping that in mind, I'm now going to share my screen and welcome to each and every one of you this week on the Game of Facts. Dia, Udit, Aparna, Neeraj, Nikki, Sharheen, Dipankar, Ritesh, Jeet, Prem, Nilab, Vishnu, Niharika, Swati, Sukla, Ria, Aziz, Shramona, Naresh, Werewolf, Ankit, Arko Prava. I hope I got that right. Pami, Bubbles. Well, welcome everyone. If there are any game, you know, fence sitters rather out there thinking, should I just play this game or should I wait it out? Don't wait it out. What's the worst that can happen? Well, you won't get the book, but you'll walk away with a whole bunch of facts. So just let go of any pressure and then just get into the flow and you'll pretty much get the Game of Facts very quickly. Ask Dipankar. He's pretty much mastered how to, you know, handle all of it very quickly. Ask Udit, Adit, regular winners, Kartikeya, all of them are absolute winners on the Game of Facts. So with that, I'm now going to get into the poll questions. And if there's anything that you need or require, if I'm going too fast or going too slow, please just stop me in my tracks. This is our time and I can definitely regulate it the way we'd like it. All right. I think there have been some tweaks and changes to Zoom. So if anyone's having any problems, just please give us a shout out and we'll see what we can do. All right. So I'm going to now get into the poll questions. Again, no right answers. Just go ahead and pick whatever you want. All right, so here we're asking you, and we're really, really interested to know, what is the most precious of all of these factors? Is time the most precious for you, or is it money, or is it opportunity, or is it the choices? Just having choices is a very precious gift. Which of these? You can select any number that you want. All right, so clearly we're on the right path, because the only resource that's running out and we're never going to get again is time. So, well, opportunity, yes. As they say, it only knocks twice. And then money is an important resource, but the beauty and the privilege of having choice, I think, is highly underestimated. Okay, we'll take a look at the next question. If you could turn back time, I would like to go back to the pre-COVID days. Why would I turn back time? I mean, we should just move on. I would actually fast forward in time, maybe 10 or 20 years, and could be, let's be in the moment. The present is all that we have and all that probably matters. Okay, so 26 of you have said, let's just be in the moment. I think right now we're doing a good thing. We're on the right path. So let's just be with this. And 21 of you have said you'd like to go back to the pre-COVID days. Well, yes, there were some things good and some things not so good. And 12 of you are really in a hurry because you want to move ahead in time. And 10 of you have rightly said, why? I mean, what's the purpose? Let's just get on with it. Okay, you always make beautiful word clouds for us. So we're asking you, and this month, we're really celebrating something which is very important to us. It's the idea of India. So what is that one wish or desire or prayer or something that you would probably want India to aspire to or have, or, you know, it's a very important time in our history, 75 years. Well, we're fairly mature as a country, and yet we have such a long way to go. So just wanted to know, what's that one word that you would have to contribute to our wonderful word cloud? This is like the highlight of my weekend, I must say. And here we have it. It's everyone to be healthy, a developed India, freedom, COVID-free. Someone says, Paddy ki shadi, whoever that is. Zero COVID cases, yes. Education, peace. Gold, I'm assuming the Olympics. India-Pak Union, I think absolutely yes. We really need all our neighbors on our side. The end of communalism, yes. No poverty, a more conscious India, good times, equal opportunities. I think that's absolutely, absolutely important. Decolonization, okay, Golden Olympics. I like the fact that Olympics is just coming up so much, and therefore a lot of us are seeing it, which is great. Equity, respect, Shanti, get to the top. Yes, get to the top, all in a good way. Acceptance, harmony. All right, okay. So we try to keep this space ideology free, and we try to keep it, you know, sort of not left, not right, not center, whatever, because numbers allow us to do that. So numbers are not biased, right? Numbers don't lie. Numbers have no ideology. Numbers have no personality. So, but, you know, we all have our likes and dislikes, and there's no harm in saying you know, you like a certain ideology or not. And it's okay. It's okay. This is a safe space. So yeah, that's fine. And definitely, India should be a safe place for women. And as you can see, at Game of Facts, we take that very, very seriously, because all the quiz masters have to fulfill one criteria, and that's being a woman. All right. Okay, I'm kidding. And now we get into the quiz. Let me remind you, it's 10 questions. There are a few true or false. You get 20 seconds for that. For the multiple choice, it's 30 seconds. And you have 1 minute to solve the puzzle. All right, so let's get ahead with this. The first one, true or false. We're asking you, Anganwadi centers are open 365 days of the year, which is a statement. Is this true or is this false? So 50 of you went for true. No, it is false. Anganwadi centers ideally, I mean, so when you look at the kind of services that they provide and the work that they're doing within the communities, it almost seems like they ought to be open 365 days of the year. But no, they are not open 365 days of the year. In fact, during the lockdown also, they weren't really open for as long. So probably this is something that we probably should be moving towards and seeing how do we make sure that these centers, because they're a hub of communities, especially at the local level, how can they be open much longer? So the answer is false, and 26 of you got that right. That has, the Anganwadi centers really have become the nerve center of rural populations, and the kind of services that they provide just go beyond what they were really set up to do. So it's quite fantastic to see just how it's been progressing as we go along. The first question, the fastest finger, okay? It's nice to see your name there, but remember, this is a very dynamic scoreboard, so things are going to change very quickly. So it's Vinod, Chiradeep, Nishant, Niharika, and Sri Harshita on the scoreboard. The next question. Number of tribal children having access to Anganwadi services as on 31st December 2020. Is it approximately 15 lakhs, 31 lakhs, 63 lakhs, or 84 lakhs? Okay, so 27 of you, and clearly there was some thinking there when you went for 84 lakhs. The answer is 84 lakhs. Have to keep in mind that 8.6% of India's population belong to scheduled tribes. And this is the number of children that actually have access to Anganwadi services across the country. And with this question, we have a completely new scoreboard, which is fantastic. It's Padmaja, Aman, Dipankar, Nishant, and Madan. Okay, we'll get into the next question. Severely malnourished children between the age of 6 months to 6 years are given a food supplement of 800 calories and 30 to 35 grams of protein, or is it 20 to 25 grams of protein, or 40 to 45 grams of protein, or 15 to 20 grams of protein? So 25 of you selected 20 to 25 grams of protein, and you are correct. So along with a supplement, which is 800 calories, as per, and this is again under the Anganwadi schemes, as per the nutritional program, they have to be given 20 to 25 grams of protein. And that is where certain foods like eggs become controversial, because this is a pure source of protein. And when we make sort of issues like this political, then the ones who really lose out are the severely malnourished children. You want a pure source of protein, and sometimes your lentils and your grains, etc., don't really provide you that. So it's, you know, sometimes we really have to toss up. And I think just as citizens, we have to be very clear on which side we are on. If data tells us that it is 20 to 25 grams of protein that have to be given to severely malnourished children, then we have to understand which is that best food source and leave the politics out of it. All right. So with that, it's Padmaja, Nishant, Madan, Kishore, and Vinod on the scoreboard. I'm sure Dipankar is going to come back in one of the subsequent questions. Looking forward to you there. But with this question, Dia is the highest climber. The next one. The government of India promotes premium cotton under the brand name, is it Hira, Kamala, Sonal, or Kasturi? This initiative was launched in 2020 by the Textile Ministry, and the idea is to promote Indian cotton. We are, of course, one of the largest manufacturers, and 48 of you got that right. I thought the name was unusual. It's Kasturi, which means whiteness, uniqueness, purity, all of those wonderful attributes that cotton really has. And India is one of the largest. In fact, we provide 51% of the world's organic cotton. All right, let's see what happened to the scoreboard. It's Vinod, Kishore, Nishant, Padmaja, and Rohit. Next question, a true or false, and you get double points for this. Movie tickets less than 100 rupees attract a GST rate of 12%, and above the value of 100 rupees, the GST rate is 18%. Is this true or is this false? So 50 of you clearly watch a lot of movies to know this, because frankly, I was gobsmacked when I got to know that there is a differential rate of GST based on the value of tickets. Makes sense. And I do hope that probably more different kinds of cinema, maybe with tickets which are much cheaper, are out there. So it's accessible to a lot more people. All right. We'll take a look at the scoreboard, and Kishore, Vinod, Padmaja, Rohit, and Aman are now on the scoreboard. But like I said, it's your time in the spotlight and things will change very, very quickly. So enjoy it. Okay. Again, double points for this question. The number of beaches in India that have been awarded the coveted Blue Flag certification are 45 beaches, 93 beaches, 8 or 17. The Blue Flag is a body of very high-level officials from UN, tourism bodies, etc., who come together, and well, 32 of you got that right. It is 8. It's quite sad because we have a 7,500 plus kilometer coastline. In fact, Goa itself has about over 40 beaches. I mean, if we just look at the numbers, we're talking about a state like Maharashtra has about over 35, possibly, and Kerala has over 25, and yet just 8 have made the cut. And sad to say, not one single beach in Goa was on the list that was certified with the Blue Flag. There are definitely plans to make sure that we add 10 more beaches to the Blue Flag, but of course the criteria is fairly strong and fairly, in the sense it's not very easy to get past that. So it is a tall order, but very, very critical when we talk about our beaches from a tourism point of view, and in general, just from, a conservation, why, just environment perspective. All right. The scoreboard is saying there's a bit of a change. It's Vinod, Kishore, Aman, Riya, and Madan. Okay, the next question. And you get double points for this one. This state has received the highest disbursement of funds under Ayushman Bharat. This is the PMJY scheme, and it's the states, or the options are Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Gujarat. Okay, so I'm wondering, how did the 26 of you get this right? Was it pure guesswork, or did you know something that we didn't? Well, I probably would have gone for Kerala, but it is Gujarat that has in fact received 330.6 crores this year compared to 99 crores last year. Kerala has always consistently managed to bag, and also because they have a Public Health Act. So they make sure they do mop up and get as much as they can under the healthcare schemes. They got 128.6 crores. And Maharashtra got 117.4 crores. In fact, last year, interestingly, they got 376 crores. So it's very interesting to see these patterns of how these allocations are made year on year. And Andhra Pradesh, again, also has a fairly heavy load in terms of the healthcare bill. And they received about 110.9 crore, but Gujarat clearly has got way more than they got last year. Okay, and numbers really, again, numbers, we're not even alluding, or we don't even have to say anything because the numbers tell it all. So it's always interesting that way. Okay, so we'll take a look at the scoreboard, and it's Vinod, Kishore, Pushpa, Neeraj, and Padmaja. A few more questions to go, so we're all still in there. The maximum number of vehicles that are allowed to ply in Rohtang Pass on a daily basis, is it 1,200, 2,000? Ridiculous. I've never heard of any limit on vehicles, or there's no question of it because vehicles cannot access Rohtang Pass. Okay, so 21 of you said 1,200. So every day, on any day, 1,200 vehicles are allowed to ply in Rohtang Pass. Out of this, 800 are diesel vehicles that can go, and 400 petrol vehicles. I found this a little interesting because if, say, for example, you're in the 401st petrol vehicle, I'm sorry, you have to wait for the next day, which I thought was very interesting. All right. Let's see what happens to the scoreboard. It's Vinod, Kishore, Pushpa, Shweta, and Aman. And now we get into our puzzles. This is all about wildlife now. We're asking you to rank the states from high to low based on allocations of funds from the center under the Project Tiger. These are all very sort of, I would say, coveted and very generous government spending that goes into these programs. The states are Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Assam. You need to rank them, stack them in the order, and don't forget to click the submit button. This was a slightly difficult one, but when it comes to Project Tiger in particular, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh have got the bulk of the government funds which have been dispersed. And this is a very sizable budget, by the way. And you have Assam and then Karnataka. My bias would have made me rank Karnataka before Assam. So I was surprised to even know that, there was this allocation under Project Tiger. And just so you know, a total of 19,450 lakhs is invested in Project Tiger, out of which Maharashtra got about 3,098 lakhs, followed by MP, Assam, and then Karnataka got about 2,118 lakhs of rupees. Now, West Bengal, interestingly, given the fact that there is this focus on the Bengal tigers, got 333 lakhs of rupees for their conservation program. No shift. So we'll get into the last question. This one's no different. It's focusing on Project Elephant. So that was Project Tiger. And we're asking you to rank the states based on the allocation of funds that they have managed to get. And the states that you have are Arunachal Pradesh, Kerala, Karnataka, and Odisha. This one, please, it just flip whatever you are thinking, because it is not that. It's a bit of a surprise of a answer. So I've dropped a hint there. It's this one state that you probably wouldn't have imagined is on the number one spot. So stack them from high to low, and don't forget to submit the press the submit button. Right. So I think we did a little better on this one. So just so you understand, Project Tiger gets nearly 20,000 lakh rupees for its projects, and Project Elephant gets about, I think just about 2,500 lakh rupees. Odisha got a bulk of it, which is approximately 577 lakh rupees, followed by Kerala, which got about 574, Karnataka around 330, and then Arunachal Pradesh got 282 lakhs. So that's the end of this quiz. The puzzle, I must admit, are slightly difficult, and we'll try and keep that in mind and probably add in a few easier ones or give it a little bit of a twist. I hope you like this week's questions, and thank you all for being so patient and bearing right through the quiz with us. It's always a mixed bag. This week it's something, next week it's going to be something else. So don't give up. You definitely can make it to the podium. But this week, let's see whom we have. And it's Pushpa in the third position, followed by Kishore in the second spot. And in the number one place, we have Vinod. And then we have two more runner-ups, that's Shweta and Aman. All five of you are going to get a signed copy, a personalized signed copy of Gangster State, which will be duly signed and with a neat little message from Sourjya himself. So thank you all so much for joining us. Don't forget, please, all five of you, fill in the Google form with all the details. It's going to be personalized, so we have to make sure that the right copy reaches you, or you guys will probably be sort of sending it to the right recipient within the group. And stay on with us. Next Friday, we have Meenal at 5 p.m. with the Hindi quiz, and then I'll be back on Saturday at 5 p.m. with the English quiz. In between, we also have a few interesting things lined up. So please just keep just follow us a bit and see what we're up to on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and wherever else we are. And so you'll know what's coming up next. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the evening and have a wonderful weekend, and look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you.